Hey, what's up, people? I am sitting in a building that's on our property that I would love to turn into a little yoga studio. It's kind of a shell right now, you know, but figured I would use it today, just to bring in some good energy to it and help that little vision maybe manifest down the road. I'm gonna share with you a little bit of a floor practice today. I've had vertigo the past few days, really kind of mild. Um, but because of that, there are certain things that I have to kind of avoid, you know. Um, Still want to do a little bit of yoga though, right? That's good for me. So I'm just going to give you a few little practices that you could do. Um, Not everything, works for everybody, right? So if being on the floor and the seated position isn't good for you, you can absolutely be in a chair, and most of what I'll show you can be modified to suit your needs in the chair. So first of all, come to a comfortable seated position. Now you could be sitting cross-legged like this, like I am, or for some people, it's not good to have all this lateral rotation of the legs. And so being in a chair would be one option, or to sit in a kneeling position would be another option. You could also sit up on a bolster or a stack of blankets to help your low back and hips be more comfortable. So find a comfortable seat. You can let your gaze rest on the floor in front of you, or close your eyes. Lengthen your spine and begin to notice your breath. Let your shoulders and arms be relaxed. Your hands can be in your lap. Let your body expand during inhalations and pull your belly button a little bit inward and upward during your exhalation. You can even put a finger or a couple fingers on your navel. And so when you inhale, you'll feel your belly expand forward. And as you exhale, you can feel, whether or not, you're actually creating a slightly inward and upward motion. Leave your hand there if you need to, if it feels good to do so, if it helps you tune into your breath and that movement. Try breathing in for a count of 5 or 6 seconds and exhaling for the same amount. Stay here for a few more breaths. Just take notice of how you feel in your body today. Now begin to roll your shoulders up towards your ears, backward and down. Keep your breath moving slow, steady, and deep. I'm trying not to be distracted by my dog that's over to the side. But I'm totally distracted by her movement. Couple more shoulder rolls. Now this time, as you bring your shoulders up, hold them here. Keep breathing. And on an exhalation, let them relax again. Now begin to circle your head. Create a small circle with the tip of your nose as if you were using your nose to draw a circle. Think of using one breath for one complete circle. This works with those top vertebrae that attach to your head, those muscles that connect your back to your skull. After several circles in one direction, reverse it. Continue to watch your breath as you move your body. Bring your head back to center. And bring your hands to heart center, palm to palm in this prayer position. Sometimes we'll call this namaste position. With an inhalation, extend your arms up. Your gaze can follow your hands. Only lift your chin as far as feels comfortable. Don't crunch the back of your skull against the top of your neck. It can be a slight lift. So you'll inhale your arms up and exhale your arms apart with your hands turned palm side up. Bring your hands back to center. So we'll do a few of these arm sweeps. Use your inhalation to extend upward. Your exhalation to sweep your arms out. Continue to work with that 5-5 or 6-6 ratio of breathing. One more time. Let your hands go towards your knees or your lap if you're in a chair. And we'll incorporate a little back movement into this. So with an inhalation, take your chest forward, lift your chin slightly, and arch your back. As you exhale, round your back, look inward, tuck your tailbone. So this is a seated cat-cow. Use your inhalation to roll forward on your sit bones, and your exhalation to arch your back in the opposite direction. Stay within a comfortable range of motion. Let your breath lead your movement. Notice what your spine feels like, what the muscles of your back feel like as you go through this. Last round. As you breathe in, bring yourself back to center. Lengthen through your spine and the crown of your head. And now, take your legs forward. So have your feet about hip width apart. You can use your hands on either side of you to help you sit up tall. You could move so that you have a wall against your back. Or you could be in a chair and modify the movements to fit that scenario. Bend and flare your toes slowly a few times. Actually look at your toes. Notice what they do. How much do they spread apart when you flare them? Do any of them stay together? Keep your breath slow, steady, and deep. Continue to pull your belly button slightly inward and upward through those exhalations and allow your belly and your chest to expand during inhalations. Now point and flex your feet a few times. Again, keep the movement very slow. Try to notice sensations up your legs as you move your feet. Be careful that you don't lock your arms out and jack your shoulders up to your ears. Keep a little relaxation in your shoulders, looseness in your elbows. Now circle both of your feet together, ankle rotation. A few times one direction and then the reverse. Bring your feet back to stillness. And now you're going to use your hands. If you're on the floor, you can have your hands behind your thigh, or you could end up using them more on the front of your shin. If you're in a chair, you're just going to be bringing your knee up in the air a little bit and then putting your foot back on the floor. If you're on the floor, you can bring your knee towards you on an inhalation. Keep your back nice and tall. Try not to collapse in. Try not to really arch your back through this movement. Inhalation to bring your knee forward towards you, and exhalation to take your knee away from you. Keep your left foot in an upward position, so try not to get lazy with that left leg. Keep it a little activated. Inhalation to bring your right knee towards you. You can use your hands on your thigh or the front of your shin if you like, and exhalation to extend your leg back along the floor. And then we'll do the practice with the left leg. You may notice that one side seems to be easier than the other side to do this with. Last one. Rock your legs out. Shake them out a little bit. You can bounce them. And now you have a couple options. You can bring your feet together and have your knees opened outward. If that feels fine for your back, you can do the practice this way. If that doesn't work for you, another option would be to have your foot on top of your thigh or even just to the side. If you're in a chair, you can cross an ankle or possibly bring your foot up to that left thigh. It just depends on what's going on with your body today. So if you have the soles of your feet together, for butterfly, on an inhalation, bring your knees up. On an exhalation, lower them towards the floor. Continue to press foot against foot. Even your toes, maintain that traction of one foot against the other. If you are using your left leg extended and your right foot on top of the thigh or beside it, you can hold your foot with your left hand and use your right arm to bring your right knee upward. Breathe in for upward motions and exhale for downward motions. You'll do maybe 5 or 6 rounds on that side, and then you would do the same thing with your left. If you have both of your feet soles together, try 10 rounds. Now, if you were in the chair and you simply had your ankles crossed, it would be a smaller movement, but you're still getting the benefit of working with that hip joint, bringing some movement, flexibility, and strengthening into it. When you finish those practices, extend your legs back or have both feet flat on the floor if you're in a chair. You can use your hands on either side of you to sit up nice and tall. Bend your knees if you need to. You could even have a bolster underneath them for support. If you're in a chair, keep your feet flat on the floor. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. On exhalation, hinge forward. Keep a nice long back. So again, we don't want to collapse down, and you don't want to arch your way forward. Hinge from your hips, and only go as far as feels comfortable to your back. With inhalation, bring your shoulders back up over your hips. With exhalation, forward fold slightly. Do this a few more times. Allow expansion of your body during inhalation. Pull your navel slightly inward and upward during exhalation. One more time. You could choose to pause here and take a few breaths, lengthening your lower back with this movement and this stretch. Be mindful that you don't stick your chin forward and you don't collapse it. Keep a nice neutral neck. Try to keep your feet and your toes relaxed. On an inhalation, bring your shoulders back up, relax your legs. You could rock them out, bounce them out, whatever feels good. And then return to your starting position, whether that's seated or kneeling or in the chair. Take your right hand behind you or towards the side, the back of your chair. On an inhalation, extend your left arm forward and up. On exhalation, rotate to the right and let your left arm go out to a cactus pose, a bent elbow. So inhale with your torso forward and your left arm extended. Exhale to twist to the right and bend your left elbow. You can take your gaze towards the right or keep your head neutral. As you inhale, bring your body to center and your left arm extend back beside your ear. On your exhalation, twist your upper body and bend your left elbow. One more time. Now take your left arm behind you. Bring your right arm up on inhale. Do the practice on this side. Twist to the left during exhalation. Engage your lower belly as you breathe out. Inhale to bring your torso forward and your right arm extend beside your ear. 2 more times. Super slow motion. Relax your right arm. Now, you could bring the soles of your feet together again. You could have your legs open to a wider angle. Breathe in deeply. If you were in a chair, you could just have your feet further apart than hip width. And the same deal as when we're doing a small forward fold. Your hands could be on your thighs, or if you're on the floor, place your hands on the floor. Breathe in deeply. On your exhale, hinge forward slightly. Try to keep your feet in an upward position, but with relaxed toes. You're going to move in and out of this forward fold. Breathe in as you come up and exhale into the fold. Now you may be really flexible and you may be able to go all the way to the floor, and that's great if you do, and if that's comfortable, awesome. Do not feel like you have to stretch your low back. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. You could be a couple inches deep into a forward fold, and if you're breathing correctly, you're going to get enough of a stretch. Stay here for a few breaths, or come up if you need to. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your head and neck in a neutral position. Next inhalation, bring yourself back up. Return your legs to a comfortable seat. Let your palms be relaxed in your lap. Turn them palm side up. Gaze towards the floor or close your eyes. Notice your breath for a few breaths here. Notice how you feel, if there's any difference between the beginning of your practice and this point. Bring your palms together in that prayer position. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing a little bit of yoga, for taking care of yourself today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Namaste.